Hey YouTube, it's Saurabh again, and in this video I'll show you all the selection modes in Blender so that you guys can start using it. This is a very beginner friendly video, so if you're new to Blender, I really hope this helps you. The single selection mode. In the single selection mode, when you have multiple objects, it's left click to literally select the object. You can left click on any object to individually select it. Any selected object can now be moved, can be rotated, and can be scaled. If you want to select multiple objects, it is Shift. You select an object, hold Shift, select the next object. The currently active selected object is outlined by a different blue, if you notice. This is my theme. It might be different for you, but you can clearly see that there is a different outline selection for it. When you have multiple things selected in scene and you want to deselect one of them, remember, hold Shift and then re-click on the object to make it active. That's going to make it active first. And now whatever you do on it will decide its fate. So basically, when you click on it again, now it deselects the active object. And now you can see that these two are the only objects selected. But if you want to do any tweaking, you need an active object first. Or if you want to align something to something else, there needs to be an active object. So you hold Shift, click on one of them, and now you have an active object, and now you can proceed. Moving on to selection in edit mode. In edit mode, when you're in the vertex mode, which is by one, you can select each vertex by left clicking, hold Shift to select multiple, and shift click on a selected vertex to deselect it. This technique applies for edge, which is 2, and you can select edges, and 3, which you can select faces. The shift method works for everything. Edge loop selection in Blender. If you want to select a whole edge loop, hold down Alt and then click on that edge and it selects the ring. Same thing goes for vertical. So hold down Alt, click on that edge, and you can see that it selects the whole loop. If you want to select multiple edge loops, you need to hold down Shift as well. So let's do it again. If I hold down Alt, click on this edge, it selects the edge loop. Remember, Alt is still being held down. Now I'm going to hold down Shift as well, and then select another edge loop. And now you have 2 edge loops selected. And you can add a vertical one as well. And that's how you select the whole ring and multiple at a time. Alternate edge selection mode. This can be used sometimes when you're making a special object. What it basically does is, if I want to select these edges, so they are not in a single loop, they're literally alternating. And if you want to select that, you need to hold down Alt and Control. Yeah. It's a little different, but when you hold Alt and Control and click on one edge, you see how it selects the whole loop, but alternating edges. Same thing works for vertical as well. Now to get fancy with it and select multiple, Alt and Control lets you select alternate edges, but now if you add in Shift as well, it allows you to select multiple now. That's how you do it. So basically, Shift is adding upon. I hope you remember that. Deselecting edge loops. If you have multiple edge loops selected, if you want to deselect any of them, while you're holding Alt and Shift, just re-click on them and the whole edge loop gets deselected. Going back to edge loop selection, you can do that with vertex and face. I'm sorry, I forgot, but yes, you can do that with vertex and face as well. If I'm in vertex mode, if I hold down Alt and click on a vertex, you see how you can select a line of vertex. If I am in face mode, I can hold down Alt and select a face. Now, how do you tell Blender which direction you're actually trying to select? This is the tricky part. Blender looks at your mouse pointer. Remember, if you want this vertical selection, you need to go to this face and go at its top edge, right? That will tell Blender that I'm trying to select this vertical instead of horizontal. So if you hold Alt and click, You see how it selects the whole vertical face? But then check this out, guys. Same thing. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to bring my mouse from here to here. Now you're closer to this edge, right? So Blender now will immediately understand, oh, you don't want to go vertical, you want to go horizontal. So I'll hold Alt. I'm not going to do anything else. I just moved my mouse cursor, hold Alt, and now click. That's it. That's the whole difference. Literally your mouse pointer, the place it is at determines what it's going to select. Hope that helps. So if you're having issues selecting that loop, now you know why. So your cursor positioning matters. Box selection menu. If you want to, for example, let's say select these vertices all in a box, right? Or any multiple vertices. You saw how I selected them, clicking each at a time, right? That takes time as well. You can switch to a different mode. If you hold down left click on your tweak menu over here, you have 4 options. Select box is now literally, you can click, left click and drag a box and Blender will select every component in it. It matters which component you are on. If you're on vertex, it selects vertex. And then you can switch to edge and faces. And this is how you select multiple instead of clicking each and every one of them. A more useful tool is select circle. I don't know why it's called select circle. It's more like a paintbrush, guys. So when you have this mode selected, you can adjust the radius of your brush here. You see? So it's a brush, right? And you can select the radius. Now the cool part is you literally paint your object and it selects literally every component, right? So you can see that I'm just painting and there you go, right? So if you want finer control, just make this smaller. Let's select out and there you go. Look at that. Really quickly, you can select all the vertices or the edges and the faces with this tool, right? Quite handy. The last is select lasso. Lasso selection, many people know, is literally freehand. So you can see that I am freehand drawing this and there you go. Do you see the shape I created? The shape I created contains 3 vertices and when I leave, those 3 are going to get selected. So it's basically lasso select. So I can select or draw a shape and it selects everything within that shape. Select all in Blender. Now you guys know how to select individual ones, select multiple ones, deselect multiple ones. But how do you select everything? It's simple. It's the key A. When you hit A, it selects everything in your viewport. But the active object will be the last one you clicked. So for example, you see this blue outline here? This was the last one clicked. If I click on this, and now this is the selected, I go out of my viewport and hit A. You see everything is selected, but this is the active object. And with that, guys, selection menu is pretty much done. With these basic things, you should be able to select multiple things, select multiple faces or particular things you want in Blender. And with all my other tutorials, you can start modeling. Have fun, keep creating. Saurabh Vijayatha signing out.